What's up, everyone? Lee the Captain here. There's allegedly been another report when it comes to Zebec, and of course, I'm talking about their latest monthly report, which of course is for the month of April. And I'll give my thoughts on it and kind of break down some of the figures that was shown, even though nothing I say is financial advice, and even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything. So, did you know that in the month of April, the payroll volume when it comes to Zebec on a monthly basis was $50 million? Really impressive in my perspective. A lot of people think that, oh, Zebec, it's not a big player when it comes to payrolls. It's true, it's not the biggest, but that's, I think, pretty impressive. Now, let's take a look at it. It actually served around 13,300 employees. Pretty impressive, in my opinion. Not to mention, we take a look at the enterprise clients when it comes to Zebec. It does say from the payroll side of things, it's 245. Let's just let that sink in. 245 payroll enterprise clients. So when people like to say, oh, Zebec being focused on instant payrolls, no enterprise cares about that. Well, apparently over 200 do so far. Not to mention, in terms of the cards, which I get it, not many people have talked about the cards as of late when it comes to Zebec. But in terms of the total card volume, it was around $66.6 million. And not to mention, there was over 500,000 transactions, so basically over 500,000, which I think shows activity, right? I mean, even some memes out there have cards, but I think this right here kind of showcases that there's some activity. Not to mention, there was over 22,000 cards that were issued, and I think that kind of showcases that, you know what? There is some demand when it comes to that. Maybe it's not the best, but I still think it's kind of impressive, actually, considering the size of Zebec as of right now, which isn't that massive. But I think this, if anything, is a good report because they can show this, right, to future enterprises moving forward that want to partner up with them or the ones that they do want to partner up with. It's like a transcript of sorts. That's my point of view because they can show this type of stuff when they're in a meeting. They can say, hey, take a look at our numbers, take a look at our figures, take a look at our partnerships like Stellar, Ripple, for instance, and as well as the Algorand partnership. And keep in mind, when it comes to the payroll side of things, its payroll volume was again around $50 million monthly in the month of April. This is without seeing what the Stellar partnership could eventually become, right? Because it recently got announced, but we haven't really seen much of a big impact when it comes to that. And apparently there's going to be a big partnership that's going to be announced near the end of this month that has something to do with the Zebec and Stellar partnership in regard to a large European bank. So that's pretty impressive. So even without seeing anything kind of pan out yet in terms of the results of the Stellar partnership or the Ripple partnership so far, we're already seeing $50 million in terms of monthly volume when it comes to the payroll side of things in just the month of April alone. So imagine once the Stellar partnership, it really kicks off. Imagine once the Ripple partnership really kicks off. That volume right there could look minuscule in the grand scheme of things, especially moving forward if the partnerships with Stellar and Ripple do really take off. So really without much going on when it comes to the Ripple or Stellar partnership, we're already seeing that much volume when it comes to the payroll side of things. That's kind of impressive. That's like the equivalent of running a marathon using Timberland boots and then like placing third place. That's really impressive. Imagine what happens if they actually use running shoes. It'd be a totally different story. So I do like what I'm seeing here. And keep in mind, after all, when it comes to the payroll side of things, it did serve 13,300 employees. Let's take that into consideration. That's affecting a lot of people right there. In a good way, of course, right? Because if we just take a look at the concept of instant payrolls, which is what Zebec is focused on, that's focused on literally having the payroll be instant like that. Not having to wait 2 weeks, not having to wait, at the end of the month to get paid, right? That's literally instant while they're doing it, which some people like it, some people don't, but at least that option exists. And at least around 13,300 employees may like that, right? In a sense, it's kind of done some things, right? I suppose for around 13,300 individuals, or should I say employees. So even though not every single person may prefer that option, at least that option does exist and it's seeing some decent adoption as of right now. So I like what I'm seeing when it comes to this. And I think it kind of strengthens really what Zebec is doing because other projects out there, they say they're doing something, but they don't really do anything as a result. It's just, oh, we're going to be focus on this thing, focus on that thing. And then they say, oh, it's running great. But they never post any updates. They don't talk about the statistics. But now we actually see the numbers. That's what I do like seeing. Granted, Zebec, around a 4% recovery in the past 24 hours. Not that bad, considering how Bitcoin, is still at around 80 grand. And let's take this as well into consideration. In the past month, the recovery has been around 36%. So again, not the best of the best figures, but I think some people out there may be starting to look at Zebec and starting to see, the fundamentals that it has. A lot of people treat kind of Ripple and Stellar as their Batman and Robin, right? They treat it like a tandem, so to speak. But what's my tandem when it comes to this space, even though I'm still a fan of Stellar? I view it like Zebec and Onyx. That's the way I view it. I view Zebec as kind of like the, I guess, Batman as of right now. I view Onyx as kind of the Robin. Before it was different, right? Before Onyx was the Batman, now it became the Robin. Just because Zebec now has a higher market cap, and I feel like it's done a little bit more things in terms of the partnerships. But I still like Onyx though. I kind of treat it like that because Ripple, it's really massive, right? XRP has a very massive market cap. And a way for me to kind of believe in that type of project, yet not believe in a project with such a massive market cap like that, I feel like it's through some of the smaller ones out there. Like hypothetically for me, I'm not telling anyone to do anything like Onyx or Zebec. That's just my mindset currently. And also something else that I forgot to mention is that when it comes to the monthly volume report, when it comes to Zebec, in terms of their cards, it was allegedly like showcasing the statistic indicating 97 countries. So I think it showcases kind of the global reach of Zebec, right, in terms of that. And I don't think that would have been possible if the fundamentals were so bad and if the adoption was so bad. A lot of other projects out there, they can't do any of this type of stuff. I just feel like some other projects out there, the team is a little bit lazy. But I just kind of don't see it here. I feel like Simon is still doing things. And Simon, right, he did hint as to maybe, right, somewhere along the lines of a potential partnership with ADP. ADP, keep in mind, is in the Fortune 500. It's been there for at least 30 years so far. And it's so massive, it's focused on payrolls. And again, Simon hinted at working alongside them moving forward. So imagine what would happen to the payroll statistics when it comes to Zebec if that partnership could actually be pulled off. I'm a little bit curious, but it's only time will tell type of scenario. As of right now, Bitcoin's still at around 80 grand. Zebec's still at a below 400 million market cap, but wow, when it comes to the updates that I'm seeing so far, I can't say I'm disappointed because they keep updating. They keep showcasing their statistics, and I do like what I'm seeing so far in terms of the fundamentals. In terms of the charts, I'll just have to wait. I can't do anything else. What am I going to do? Pull up a price chart, draw some random triangles? That's going to do nothing. Do you think the market's going to care about what I have to do on that price chart? No. I see some other people out there, they pull up a price chart, draw some random triangles, but they never talk about the fundamentals. They never talk about the partnerships. They never talk about what the project is about. If the market is not doing good and they're constantly drawing triangles on a price chart, demanding and wanting the charts to do something else that it's not doing, it becomes very frustrating pretty quickly. For what? Yelling at the screen, doing some jumping jacks or something like that, drawing random things again on a price chart, it does nothing, in my opinion, for me. And the market's not going to care. So instead, I focus on the fundamentals, and that's what I'm doing. I'd rather focus on the updates and the news, and that's what I'd rather take a look at. However, I'll be sure to keep everyone updated if there are any more updates coming when it comes to Zebec, and if there's anything that they announce, I'll keep everyone updated. So yeah, I want to say thank you for watching. It's been Lee the Captain. I'm out. Peace. Bye.